Hey guys, if you're not able to hit 10k a month with your agency, then this is the video for you. In this video, I'll be showing you guys the systems and processes that you can implement in your agency in order to scale to 10k a month fast. Now, if you need help implementing these systems, you can book a call with me down below or DM me on Instagram and we can hop on a one-on-one call and I can help you implement these systems myself. So let's just get straight into the video. If you cannot hit 10k a month with your agency, then this is the video for you, right? So first things first, right? In order to hit 10k a month, you need a proper channel to acquire clients, right? And in this video, I'll be mostly focusing on paid acquisition channels such as paid ads, right? And how that functions and how it can get you to 10k a month, right? So first things first, right? You want to run a Facebook ad, right? In order to run a Facebook ad in the agency space, right, we suggest that you always spend a minimum of $30 a day, because if you're not spending enough money on advertising, if you're not spending $30 a day minimum, like you're just not going to get enough leads, right? So what's the point of running ads? You're just going to end up with money, right? So I highly advise that if you do have $900 saved in your bank account, right, if you're a first world country and you have a laptop, right, just go run some paid ads. You get me? And the key thing when you're running paid ads, right? The key audience that you want to use is you don't want to, like so many of these gurus online, they tell you to do lookalike audience, interest based, and all this jazz. But we all know broad is king and broad works the best. So just put one simple broad targeting for your advertisement, run it $30 a day, and believe me, you'll be getting leads coming in consistently, right? And once you get that locked in, right, you're going to be having meetings and essentially you'll be able to close new clients. Right. So when you're creating this ad, right, there's a certain structure towards the ad that you have to do in order for it to be like appealing towards the market that you're targeting. Right. And how you structure this ad is obviously the first thing that you want to do is call out the audience that you're targeting, right? Because imagine I'm trying to get clients in solar and I'm like, hey, auto detailers, right? It's not going to make sense. So it's pretty straightforward. Call out the audience that you're looking to attract. Like say you're looking solar, hey, solar business owners, hey, solar reps, hey, solar installers, or say you're in auto detailing, hey, hey, auto detailers, attention auto detailers, attention auto detail business owners. Like you want to call out the audience that you're looking for, right? Next step is the offer, right? When you're creating an ad, especially in SMA, you've seen how freaking saturated this market is, right? So you want to have an offer that's irresistible, right? Obviously an offer which people are going to click on, right? Whether it's pay after the job completed or whether it's after we work for free if we don't guarantee results, or if it's a certain amount of appointments or at least guaranteed in a certain amount of days, right? All of those strategies do work. However, what I suggest you guys do is, create multiple ads and, you can use the same call out and everything, but just change and adjust the offers for each ad to see which offer is the most attractive for the certain target market you're trying to attract, right? Then next thing goes the body. And I'm gonna be real, like the body just has to be relevant and hit certain pain points towards the market that you're in, right? It's not really important because most of these people only view the videos for like 10 seconds. What they really care about is what you're gonna offer to them. And that's why I'm telling you guys the offer is the most important, right? The thing about running Facebook ads and the thing about running paid acquisition channel, right? There are two certain strategies that you can go about this. One, just anchoring a strong offer, and two, running a bait and switch offer. Right, then let me explain both these strategies real quick. So let me start with the bait and switch. What I mean by this is actually offering something that you low-key offer, but it's not the offer that you want, like it's just a smoke screen. Right, and you see a lot of people doing this in the market. I personally used to do it, I'm not gonna lie, but I stopped doing it because essentially I think it's low-key unethical, but there's a lot of people who argue against it, right? But I'm not in this video to talk about whether it's ethical or not ethical. I'm just here to talk about strategy. So let's get into that, right? So what I mean by bait and switch, so you're just anchoring an offer that as a smokescreen, right? So you offer in the market, pay after the installer, pay after the job complete, or pay per patient, like if you're in med spa, right? But obviously you're not actually offering that. They're going to hop on the call. And because you're having such a crazy offer, oh yeah, everyone's hopping on because they're like, yo, I don't have to pay for anything until I get the job, right? Because that's obviously what everyone wants. You're going to get a lot of people flooding your Facebook ad, right? You're going to get a lot of leads, right? Some of them shit, some of them actually very qualified,
because obviously if you put a very good offer out, you're going to attract, like really low tier clients as well. So with this strategy, you kind of get a mixed bag, but it does work, right? If you filter them out properly, it will work. And the way you position this type of offer is obviously when you're going to the close, the first offer is obviously the offer like that they don't want. Like say if it's a pay after install, pay per patient pay, you're giving them a certain percentage off. Like you want to take a certain percentage of their revenue for that, client that they closed, right? But it's obviously very high, and they have to pay a lot in ad spend, and you'll see that there's like logically it doesn't make sense for someone to give you 40% of the commission plus spend every day $150 in ads. Like it doesn't make any sense for them. So that's why you offer a different offer, which is the more attractive offer, which is the real offer. Right. So with this strategy, it definitely works. It's going to get you a lower CPL. So if you're just trying to get those reps in, and you're a beginner, maybe just try it, and you don't have a big budget, go for it and go ahead and try it, because you get those reps in and you get better sales, right? But if you generally have a bigger budget to play with, or you want to just focus on people who generally are on the call, not looking for something else, which I started doing, right? What you want to do is just run an offer with like a regular offer, like we work for free, we guarantee X, Y, and Z amount of leads / appointments in X, Y, and Z amount of days, or we work for free, or we refund you $1,000. Just look it up on the ad library for each niche. You're going to find multiple examples. Like, I don't need to run you through this. Like, if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to funnel hack, like, you should do some cold calling, or you should go back to the basics, and you shouldn't be watching this video. You get me? So yeah, that's pretty much. You just want to anchor like a good offer on the ad, and then you're going to attract people who are not looking for something else. And obviously they'll just definitely have a higher intent. Like the one con on this is that it does have a higher CPL. And as we know in the US market, right, if you're getting these for $15, like, you're spending $30 a day, you're only getting like maybe 1 to 2 lead a days, right? Then if you have a shit like 50, 60% no-show rate, and like you're in like some industry with a high no-show rate, it can really destroy you. But like, if you're good at closing, it will not be a problem, right? So yeah, after you run the ad, and whether you choose to anchor a strong offer or do a bait and switch, it's completely up to you. What you want to do is book these leads in, right? And how you're going to do that is, first, there's 2 ways, right? You're going to have a landing page, right? So when they click on the ad, they fill in their details, and they straight away get put onto a landing page, right? Where they can book themselves in. For example, look at this, right? And how you want to structure the landing page is obviously you just want to call out the niche again. Like, for example, like hardscaping business owners, repeat your offer again, so that they know that, they're intrigued and they want to learn more about what you're actually offering to them, right? And then what you want to have is a calendar, right? And you want to make sure the calendar is pretty obvious and, integrated for mobile, because like if they can't see the calendar, or they have to like really, really scroll down to see the calendar, like, it's just going to be bare and attractive. You don't really want that, right? So make sure that the calendar is kind of obvious to see as well. And like you kind of point them towards the calendar, like as you can see in this previous landing page that I have, right? Called out the audience, repeated the offer, as well as that pointed kind of towards the calendar, just made it kind of obvious, that this is the calendar, right? Anyways, once they book themselves in, assuming that, they click the lead form and they come into your landing page and they book themselves in, right? You want to take them thank you page. And with this thank you page, essentially, right, you're just taking them to the next steps and informing them like what they should expect next, right, to happen after the call, right? Like for example, like for us, it was like, they'll get an SMS to confirm their time, right? You'll be hopping on probably with this closer, right? And they'll be going through this with you. Like just a few things that they can expect, so that, you're just trying to warm them up a bit, right? Because there's no point like just booking themselves in and nothing happens next. Like, how do you expect them to show up, right? So that's why you just gotta have a simple thank you page thanking them, because obviously they're human, right? And you want to thank them and obviously tell them what's happening next, right? So obviously the next thing is that you want to go high level automations confirming the book meetings, right? So obviously if you go on automations and if you go high level, you can create sequences that, when they book themselves or someone books a meeting, obviously, you confirm it, right? And you send sequences and reminders for them so that they actually show up, right? Because as I said earlier, like, what's the point of having, this whole funnel? Like, if they click on the ad and fill out the details, book a time, and nothing happens afterwards, how will they remember that there's a certain meeting taking place? So that's why you have to have confirmation reminders. And as well as that, you have to have follow-up sequences to ensure that the lead actually remembers they have the meeting at this certain time, right? So that's the whole point of having these go high level automations. And if you have go high level, this is the best tool to do it, right? So once that's all done, and once they hop on the sales call, right, you want to focus on a one call close. And when I mean one call close is, we're not doing two call closes. You and I both know that you've gotten the follow up, like, call me back tomorrow objection like 1 million times, and they never freaking called back. It's for a reason. You gave them the price. Most of the times, if you're pitching them and you're giving the price on a one call, it has to be a one call close, because then they know the price. So if they do want to think about it, like, they're never going to close, right? And the way you want to structure this one call close is, you want to mostly focus on discovery phase. You want to mostly focus on building that emotional connection with them and actually digging deep into their pain points. And if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to position your service as a solution to everything that's happened for them in the past. And I'll quote Cole Gordon this, right? Our solution has to be everything that has went wrong in the past for them, right? And you're only gonna get that answer if you're able to dig deep enough and information gather and find their pains, so we can create a customized solution for them, right? And that's how you're gonna one call close, right? But let's say, like, you're running the ads and, like, people don't book into the landing page. Like, what systems can you implement to make sure that they can hop on sales calls, right? So in this case, if they're not booked in, if you have an appointment setter, you want them to dial the leads within 5 minutes. If you're still a brokey and you're still doing everything yourself, right, you should call these leads within 1 to 5 minutes, not the setter, right? The reason why is, speed to lead is key. We all know that when a person clicks on the ad, they're looking at the ad, right? And as well as that, they have the urgency to book a meeting because they clicked on the ad and they submitted the details because, it's somewhat relevant to their pain point. You elicited some emotions from them, and that's why they opted in. So you want to dial them when they're feeling these emotions so that they can book in for the call, right? And as well as that, you want to make sure to have these follow-up systems in place. Call them as many times as possible. Not like, don't call them like 1 million, 10 times like in a row. Like, call them systematically, like double dial once or two times a day for each lead that comes in. And obviously try to call them as fast as possible because speed to lead is key, right? So say you do call them and they don't pick up, right? Regardless, you want to have automated SMS sequences to activate the lead, right? Because obviously if you have multiple leads, you can't be like calling one lead the whole time, right? Obviously, you need systems in place in order to try to activate these leads. And the best way to do that is to touch base with them via SMS and email, right? So simple automations like, saying, am I speaking to this guy? Or am I speaking to X? Usually they say yes. And once they reply, boom, you give them a call, right? So you want to have these sequences in place to reactivate the lead. So once they reply, you can give them a call, right? So like I said, if they do reply, you just call them, pre-qualify them, right? You always want to pre-qualify the leads. I mean, at the start, I'd say if you're trying to hit that 10K a month mark and you're not really good at sales, I suggest you take calls with unqualified people as well. Even if they really, really don't have the money, it's just not just a logistical objection, right? It's only because you want to put the reps in, right? And if you put the reps in, you'll get better at sales. It's just how it is, right? So it doesn't matter, like, you're not wasting your time because you don't know sales. But if you're at a point like where you're actually like, like 7, 8K a month, but you're trying to push harder, you got the budget to play with, and you can disqualify leads. And what you want to do is you want to pre-qualify these leads. Like, you want to have a setter script, right? Which is asking them the right questions so that you can make sure that you're hopping on a call with the most ideal prospect, right? With a certain problem that you can definitely solve. And that will definitely make the closing them easier. And if they don't answer, right, then at all, as I said earlier, you want to have systems in place in order to follow up with these leads, right? You want to call these leads within 14 days and follow up with them via SMS and email, touching base with them through multiple different channels, because obviously say they don't reply if they call, they might reply their text, or they might look at their email and they might check. So like obviously reaching out to them to multiple channels would automatically, logically just increase the chances of them replying to you, right? Then once you get that first contact, that can instantly boost the booking rate, right? So that's what you're looking for when you're creating these sequences, right? So if they reply to SMS, email, you already know the best thing to do is just give them a call and just book them in, right? The same thing applies. You're going to go on the one call, right? And you're just going to try and close them, right? So that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching, right? If you guys need help scaling your business, book a call down below with me or DM me on Instagram.